danger to self and or others is present. And if you're in that situation, we're not the first responders. I mean, the first call that you need to make. You need to call UPD immediately, okay? 4444, just in case if you don't know, contact them. And if you have to question yourself, I'm not sure if this is the case, you know what, probably you just need to call them anyway and let UPD determine whether this is really a minor incident or something that needs immediate attention. Don't make that judgment call on your own. You're not trained to protect yourself and or the students. That's what UPD is here for. They're trained peace officers. They're licensed to carry a weapon if needed. They have the power to arrest. So let UPD make that decision, okay? Now, once UPD is involved, basically they will arrive to the scene, do a report, and iCare, our office gets police reports on a weekly basis regarding any incident involving students. And so if it's an iCare situation, usually UPD, we have an internal system where they will mark it as iCare, so just so that it's a red flag for us. And when we get that, Stacy and I usually kind of just go over that police report and kind of determine at that point what we need to do. So we do get the police report, and if we need to have an emergency meeting, as far as me calling an emergency meeting for the iCare team, we will do that just to say, hey, we have a report here that there was an attempted suicide by a student. The student is currently hospitalized. And so we would try to assess the situation based on the information that we receive and determine what appropriate action needs to be taken. Or if it's a student, let's just say, for example, we have a student that could be a student worker, student in your class, or a student that you just kind of run into or whatever that says, you know, they're threatening to commit suicide or they're carrying a weapon. That's something where you would call UPD, okay? And again, we're going to get that report. One of the things that we like to say is when you contact UPD, yes, a report's going to be generated, and yes, it's going to come to our office. But please give us heads up. And the reason why we like to kind of have a heads up, like a follow-up call, is because that way we can expect that police report. Just in case if it doesn't come in that day or the next day, then we can pick up the phone and say, hey, we've been notified by a faculty member or staff that a report was made on a student who may have attempted suicide or was, you know, seriously disruptive in the classroom. So that way we can really stay on the case, follow up, do whatever we need to do. If we don't know, then we don't know to follow up with UPD. So that's why we encourage individuals that once they make that report to UPD, they can just either email myself and or Stacy, or give us a call and just say, I just want you to be aware of the situation that we submitted a report. Also, a lot of times, I also oversee judicial affairs, which is, we oversee our student code of conduct. And so we also handle student discipline. So there may be times where a student may be disruptive in the classroom, and you may think that, you know what, this student is just behaving badly, he's causing too much disruption, and submit a referral to us as a judicial case. But once we get it and meet with that student, we realize there's some other things going on, some other issues going on that we may need to involve Stacy as an iCare case manager. So there may be times that even though you may refer it to us as a judicial case, that we may also refer simultaneously as an iCare case. So two cases could be going on at the same time. We're going to address the behavior, the student's behavior from a judicial perspective, but we're also going to address behavior if we suspect that there's some other things going on from an iCare perspective. And our number one goal is try to get that student connected to the campus resource. Again, it goes back to reporting. We get them in early, get them in connected to counseling and or health services. Usually, I would say 85 to 90% of our cases we're successful with because we're able to get them in early. It's when we hear about it oh, that happened last year, or that happened last semester, and by that time, the student's behavior has escalated, and so therefore, because so much time has lapsed, it makes it even more challenging for us to get that student in and connected. So again, either iCare can become a judicial or judicial iCare at the same time, but either way, Stacy, myself, and our student conduct officer, which is Christina Scott, she goes by Chris, but in the directory it's Christina Scott, we manage the case and make sure that the appropriate action is taken. One thing that, again, as I stated earlier, we're going to go through the new online reporting system. It's an online reporting system for judicial, iCare, and academic misconduct. So it's the same system, and we're happy to have it. We got it this summer, and it's been so useful to us. It's our official documentation. So now you don't have to email us. You don't have to call us. We're telling everybody to go to that online system and submit the report. And it's just been really easy, and we've just had a really good success rate. So we're going to go over that at the very end, but that's where you would go in and just put in all your notes about that student. Now, iCare and FERPA. I would say, if I had to say what is the challenging part about getting people to report more so the faculty member is FERPA. There's a fear that if I violate FERPA, I'm going to be in big trouble with the feds, I'm going to be arrested, whatever it is. Well, as far as I know, as of today, I don't know of any school or anyone that has gotten in serious trouble for violating FERPA. Okay, FERPA basically is a privacy act, basically protecting the records of students. Okay. There's certain records that we can automatically release without the student's permission, and most of that is directory information. But like their transcripts, some of our health-related, counseling-related records, those are protected, okay? And so, however, since Virginia Tech has occurred, FERPA has given us more leeway that if we're in a situation where a student is of imminent danger to self or others, we can notify those who have a need to know interest, okay? That includes if someone was in your class and you have some serious concern about their behavior, you've seen some of their written assignments, and there's some things that really just disturb you, you can contact us and you're not violating FERPA. We can take that information as chair of iCare and say, you know what, we may have to even involve parents. FERPA gives us the right for us to contact parents if it's a situation where it's of imminent danger. Whoever needs to be involved in that situation to assist the student to remove the danger if all possible, we can contact those people. If you ever have doubt, you're not quite sure, give us a call, okay? Don't let FERPA scare you in a sense that you don't want to report. We have had cases in the past where people did not report students of concern, and there's a prime example. Last year we had a student that should have been reported 4 years ago, and we didn't find out until the semester before the student graduated, and how we found out was strictly by accident. It wasn't that someone reported the student, it's that we overheard a conversation and said, well, we didn't get any information about that. And so there were some of us who kind of dug a little deep and found out that this is a student of concern. And not just a minor concern, it was a major concern. Had we had this information